What's up, Honolulu Blues listeners? This episode is sponsored by the app Autograph. Use the code GOLIONS, one word, when you sign up. The only app that scours all social media platforms to bring you all of your favorite team's content, keeping you as up to date with the Lions news as Dan Campbell himself. Autograph also has fee-free tickets. Yeah, you heard me. Stop buying $100 tickets with $300 worth of fees added on top. It's time we start to normalize not paying for fees on our tickets. Go to the app Autograph to get your fee-free ticket. Autograph's co-founder, Tom Brady, is also giving away a signed TB12 football. To get entries to win it, just go to Autograph and play in their Survivor Pool Weekly Challenge. Earn an entry for every week you correctly guess an NFL team that will win. If you lose one week, no biggie. Just come back next week and try again. Earn up to 18 entries, and maybe you will have a Tom Brady signed football at your house. Just download the app Autograph and use the code GOLIONS. The holiday season. Let's get festive, y'all. Happy Friday. What is up, everybody? I am Nick Faber, and as always, I am with Adam Stark. And after a week off, we got Julius Porter back. We are the Honolulu Blues, presented by Autograph and Peak, and we got a great show for you today. We're going to go over what happened more than a week ago, and then we're going to dive into some random topics for the Lions, and then we're going to look ahead to the Lions and Bills game. But first, Julius, it is good to see you, my brother. How are the holidays going over there out in Germany? And forgive my ignorance, is Germany is Christmas heavily involved in German festivities?
Yeah, it's a pretty big holiday over here in Europe, and it's very festive over here. Only thing we missing, haven't got a lot of snow over here, so it's a little more grayer than nice and white and pretty. However, Europe is very festive around this time, going to Christmas markets and things of the sort. The home of the real Santa isn't too far away, up somewhere around Norway. So things are pretty festive around here, must say.
That is crazy. I always thought the home of the real Santa was North Pole, but I guess it's Norway. What's the difference? I mean, they're both
up there above the Arctic Circle, bro.
Yeah, exactly, bro. You got a cross country ski to get to wherever you want to go. I love that, Adam. Great to have you here as always. You've been killing it in the Scott Fish Bowl. Real quick, just tell anyone listening who doesn't know what that is, what it is, and how you've been doing so far.
It's a fantasy football tournament amongst like 1,200 people. There was maybe more. There's a lot of people in it. It's a charity fundraiser that goes to, it's like a Toys for Tots, but Scott Fish Bowl is its own thing, but it's similar to that. Scott Fish does a great job at running it, organizing it, raising money. So shout out to him. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the fantasy team. I've won my first 2 playoff games. In the third round, if I win, I'll go get to the semifinals. And Stafford let me down last night. It was a slow game, no touchdowns, which was so boring to watch. We went from the Lions thriller on Thursday night to a 12-6 field goal fest last night. So that was no fun. But I still got Jahmyr Gibbs. Mm-hmm. I think he's the only Lion I have because I regrettably did not take J-Mo and took a bum loser, Javonte Williams. So that's going to bite me in the butt. But
you took the wrong Jay Williams, dude. You clicked the wrong one.
I trust me, I know. But we will see how that goes. If Burrow and Chase Brown and Jamar Chase show up, then we should be looking good.
I love that. I love that. There's like 2,000 people in that Scott Fish Bowl. So to be where Adam is right now is extremely impressive. I got eliminated last week. So kudos to Adam. You are fucking doing awesome. Keep killing it. Keep representing the Honolulu Blues here on the Honolulu Blues. Before we get into our show, we always like to play a little bit of a game. Yes, a little bit of a game. Yeah. So let's see how we do on that. We got a little bit of trivia. I got 2 questions for each of you. Are you both ready?
Yes.
All right. Let me get this pulled up here. The Lions. Okay, what do we got? The Lions have a huge game upcoming with the Bills. The last time the Lions beat the Bills was in 2006. The Lions won 20-17. So this question is for Adam. Who was the starting quarterback for the Buffalo Bills in 2006's loss to the Lions? Was it A, J.P. Lossman, B, Trent Edwards, C, Kelly Holcomb, or D, Drew Bledsoe?
I'm gonna go A, J.P. Lossman.
Starting right out with a bang, Adam says, I got it, dude. Probably because he didn't know any of the other 3 quarterbacks.
Oh, no, I knew him. Well, actually, I don't know if Kelly Holcomb, but Trent Edwards and Drew Bledsoe sound familiar.
All right. Sounded familiar. Well, that's a 1-0 lead. That's a 1-0 lead right now for Adam. Julius, you're up here, sir. In 2002, the Detroit Lions lost to the Buffalo Bills 24-17. Who led the Lions in receiving yards for that game? Was it A, Azahir Hakim, B, Jermaine Crowell, C, James Stewart, or D, Bill Schroeder?
This question is infinitely harder than the first one.
You got screwed. Sorry, Julius.
But I'm going to go ahead and go. Around this time frame. It's a wild guess. I'm going to go A, Azahir Hakim. I know he was wide receiver 1 by default back then, but.
He sure was wide receiver 1 by default, especially for this game, but he did not finish the game with the most receiving yards. Adam, do you want to take a chance to steal?
Of course. Let's go. I was thinking it was A too, Julius. Let's go Jermaine Crowell.
Neither get the correct answer. It was not a wide receiver. It was our running back, James Stewart, who finished this game with the most receiving yards in a 24-17 loss to the Bills. Let's keep it moving on. Still 1-0 Adam. Adam, in 2010, the Lions lost 14-12 to the Buffalo Bills. How did the Lions lose this game? Was it A, the Detroit Lions missed a 2-point conversion from Sean Hill to Brandon Pettigrew with 14 seconds remaining? B, Buffalo Bills kicker Ryan Lindell hits a 53-yard field goal as time expires? C, Detroit Lions kicker Dave Rayner misses a game-winning 43-yard field goal as time expires? Or D, Buffalo Bills Fred Jackson scores on an 8-yard touchdown run with 4 seconds remaining?
All right, so those all were a little foggy up until the end. I believe Fred Jackson rushed in for 8 yards, score touchdown. D.
Okay, now there is not an option to, if you get it right, congratulations. If you get it wrong, there is not an option to steal for this one or the next one. Okay, so right or wrong, this is it. And we are going to let Rich Eisen and Steve Mariucci tell us how this game finished.
Wow.
Touchdown, I go with that rushing touchdown. Fourth quarter, actually a rushing touchdown over that receiving touchdown. Sean Hill, 17 ticks to go, finds Calvin Johnson.
Just throw it to that guy. Defense, coach. Cover 2, get the linebacker on the best receiver.
So they got to go for 2 with 14 seconds left. And
keep it alive, keep it alive, keep it alive, keep it in play.
And Bills get their first one of the year.
Conversion.
Oh, Nick, you're muted. He's still muted.
Is it Fred Jackson, Nick? I can't tell.
Mute me. So it was I don't know why that muted me, but it was a 2-point conversion missed from Sean Hill to Brandon Pettigrew. Adam did not get that right. This last question is for 2 points. This is for Julius to win. There is no steal. It's all up to Julius here. Let me get to it real quick. Hold on. All right. In 2014, the Lions lost 17-14 to the Buffalo Bills. How did the Lions lose this game? Was it A, Matthew Stafford throws a pick six with 35 seconds remaining? B, Detroit Lions kicker Alex Henry misses a 52-yard field goal to tie the game as time expires? C, Buffalo Bills kicker Dan Carpenter hits a 58-yard game-winning field goal with 4 seconds remaining? Or D, Kyle Orton hits Robert Woods for a 24-yard game-winning touchdown with 7 seconds remaining? Julius, what do you say?
Ooh, this is good. I don't know if I'm this clutch.
If you ain't clutch, you ain't much.
Give me C.
Oh no, I also think it's C. Dang it.
The answer is in this video.
2 plays later.
No!
From the
No!
40-yard line, 9
No!
seconds
I
left.
knew it too!
This
Oh
is a
no!
58-yard try. Dan
Wow.
Listen, watch this, boys.
buries it.
Watch this.
Oh,
Morton
that was
fired
horrible.
up. Schwartz fired up as well. Jim Schwartz would end up being carried off of the field.
I remember this now.
The Bills win.
The Buffalo Bills
Yeah.
defeat the Lions on a 58-yard game-winning field goal by Dan Carpenter, as well as Julius defeats Adam on a 58-yard.
Finally got me, Julius.
Clutch,
That was
finally
great.
clutch.
Shout out to our announcers that were able to give us that. That was really fun. I wanted to add some videos into that. That was fun. Julius wins 2-1. We'll be having trivia and other games to start every show, but we have a long show, so we're going to start flying through it. Let's get to a little bit of news. Breaking news! Breaking news! Before last Thursday's game even kicked off, the Lions fans had rattled Matt LaFleur with a fan yelling at the Packers sideline and giving the throat cut motion, which led to a heated screaming match between the entire Packers roster and one arguably very brave or arguably very stupid fan. We found out that this fan will ultimately lose his season tickets in the wake of this viral video. So I have a couple questions. For both of you. Julius, we'll let you start. Did you condone the actions that my man did, or did you think it made Detroit fans look a little foolish? And do you think the punishment was fair or foul?
I don't condone what the fan decided to do. However, I also don't condone what Matt LaFleur decided to do. So I can't really say if I was put in that situation as this Lions fan, that the same scenario wouldn't have played itself out, if not worse, because who knows how emotionally charged I would have been on that damn field, my damn self. And if I saw Matt LaFleur coming over here saying anything to me, anything, it's like seeing Ryan Day face just walking up to me, just talking smack. I just get aggressive. Like, hold on. Matt LaFleur just got that face. He got that face, man. Like he want to mess with you. But no, I don't condone what the fan did. The throat, the death kneel signal, over his throat. That was a little over the top. Of course, it's gonna spark a reaction. That's probably what he was trying to get. And only Matt LaFleur is dumb and soft enough to react. And so this is what happened. And I don't think it'll happen again. I don't think it's not a common thing to happen. Matt LaFleur should have just ignored it. But no, I don't condone it.
Adam, same question. You condone it, and you think the punishment was fair or foul?
I mean, I think it's right on the line as long as you're not like touching coaches, aren't like getting in their faces. If he's was at a distance, doing that. And Matt LaFleur, man, blow him a kiss back, wave at him. You give him something back. I mean, it's Lions Packers. Like this, there's a rivalry brewing here. I mean, maybe not because we won 6 of the last 7, but anyways, Matt LaFleur, it was hilarious. I've heard this on Part of My Take. Matt LaFleur turned into Mad LaFleur, and he just got so butthurt about this fan who like somehow got to him. Where, hey man, if that bothers you, just point to security and say, hey, come get this guy. He was, doing gestures I didn't like. And obviously the NFL does not condone that. The Lions, don't either, I guess. But I do feel like the Lions did bend the knee a tiny bit on taking the season tickets away. I think there should have been a little punishment just because how much national media gave the Lions a bad, look. But ultimately, the Lions just need to, follow the rules right now. Not do anything out of line, anything wrong. Just stay on Roger Goodell's good side and the refs, and we'll be all right. So it is what it is. I don't think it was the worst thing in the world. I don't think it was like something. Yeah, I want to see more of that. It's just like a kind of a funny one-time type thing. And if it happens again, just get security to him right away. Matt LaFleur, just notify some security. Don't have a press conference afterwards.
Yeah, I get everyone's thoughts here. I disagree, though. Man, this dude, I condone everything this guy did. Dude, that guy rattled Matt LaFleur before the game even started. What coach, what NFL, what head coach would even let this earworm into his head? Like, no coach would ever do that unless you were so flustered about the team you were about to play. I'm so for it. I would have done the same thing. I would have gone on the news the following day and not ever apologized, never regretted anything. And it would have been 10 times worse if I was out there. You should have heard me at that game in section 315. If I was 315 freaking inches away from Matt LaFleur, I would have been freaking giving it to him. I fully condone it. I hope every single Lions fan does this from now on to the Packers. You don't need to go yell at Steve Sarkisian or the Colts head coach. Or
it only happened to LaFleur, bro.
And it only needs to happen to LaFleur. So anytime, every year when Green Bay comes, I want every single person who's carrying that flag out and respect the flag, respect the country, respect the veterans who fought for us to have a right to be able to say what I'm saying. I want all of those people freaking yelling at Matt LaFleur as loud as I could. All of them doing this, dude. All of them, dude. Like anything aggressive, it would be the funniest thing. I love it. I don't want to spend too much time on this, but I just need to get my 2 cents out that I love this guy. He may be my hero, and I may try to go have a beer with him at some point and maybe put his picture up on my wall. Like, that's how exciting I thought this guy was. I didn't even see it until after the game. It was just awesome. We'll keep it moving. The NFL has announced that they will play a game in Germany next year. And with the huge ties between the Lions and Germany, like Amon-Ra St. Brown being fluent and his mother being from Germany, along with superstar podcaster Julius Porter living there currently, I think it's a pretty fair assumption to believe the Lions are playing in Germany next year when the NFL goes to Berlin. So, Julius, how impactful would that be? How impactful would it be for the Lions, that game, to play in Germany for the NFL fans over there?
It'd be pretty impactful. They've been having games over here the last few years. They played Munich, they played in Frankfurt, and now they're going to Berlin. Just for personal preference, I prefer they keep it in Frankfurt because it's centrally located in Germany. Munich is all the way at the tippy bottom of it. Berlin is all the way kind of at the tippy top. And Frankfurt is right there in the middle. I'm only an hour away from it. It would have been beautiful. But guess what? I'm going to make that 3.5-hour drive to Berlin as well. It's super big. It makes the most sense. Amon-Ra St. Brown, he's like a German ambassador to football right now over here. I even hear regular Germans who don't know much about the sport talking about Amon-Ra St. Brown because they know of his mother's heritage and the connection. They've seen his podcast. He's had camps over here. Kids, every June he has a camp up in Dusseldorf. It's going to be pretty huge. There's a huge Lions following abroad. There's a huge Lions following in Germany. They have a huge Lions fan club that's active on Twitter and Instagram. You guys might even be aware of them. But they're based up in Berlin, hundreds of them. They have watch parties. They have Lions fans. They have former Lions players that come out, fly out to host these parties. There's a huge Lions fan base over here. So it's going to be lit, and I'm going to be front and center of the party next year.
If they have this game in October in Germany, and Oktoberfest is going on, and the
bro.
Lions game is going on, I might die, but I might go there. Like,
bro, come on. We in there with our mugs, dog. We got our mugs.
oh, I'll have a Stein ready to go, bro. I got it's up there. Dang, I was gonna pull out my Tiger Stein. You can't really see it. Anyways,
we had turned that stadium in Berlin into Ford Field, Europe.
Yeah. Get me on the field. Let's keep it moving. Like I said, this week we're not just going to break down a bunch of things from the Packers game. We got one little segment here for it. We're going to let the boys just kind of talk about everything and anything. We're going to let Adam start. We're basically here. We're going to start with the end, though. 4th and 1, 30 seconds to go, tie game 31-31. Dan Campbell goes for it. Goff gets stepped on. He falls down. He makes the handoff to Montgomery, who picks up the first. Jake Bates hits the game-winning field goal. Adam, just tell me your thoughts on the finale of this game, the whole thing, any players you want to shout out, anything you want to talk about from last week.
It was great. A real just great Lions game, honestly. Ended buzzer-beating win. Jake Bates, my guy, walked us off, was as cool as could be, drilled it right down the center. I think this dude could have a chance to be the greatest kicker in Lions franchise history, which is saying a lot because we have Jason Hanson, Eddie Murray, and probably some dudes from way back then. But I think Jake Bates is going to continue that tradition of having a 15, 20-year kicker for, the same franchise. Anyways, in regards to the game, the whole team just played great. Dan Campbell was out of his mind sometimes doing these 4th down calls, but I truly think our offense is good enough to where if we go for it on every 4th and 1, it's going to help us no matter what. No matter if we don't get the 4th and 1 that's inside our own 20 and we get the other 4, which is kind of what happened. We went for it inside our own 30, didn't get it, gave the Packers a quick, easy touchdown. But sure enough, end of the game, we go for it again and get the first down. I also loved seeing Packers fans just cry and whine about the refs when they've been treated like kings by the refs for the Aaron Rodgers, the Brett Favre for so long. And now they get a taste of their own medicine. It's just beautiful. And then finally, the whole Goff going down, he kneeled it. It's a kneel. I don't know if you saw any of that. People were saying it should have been a kneel down, but some Lions fan proved it wrong and said, for that to be a kneel down, you have to do a design QB kneel. So that has to be the play call. Obviously, that was not the play call. So that is why it wasn't called, down right when he put his knee down. All right. But phenomenal game. We own the Packers. That's the main point.
Amen. I love that. One of my favorite things about the kneel down was I saw a Lions fan take a screenshot right before Jake Bates kicked it of the holder, Jack Fox holding it with his knee on the ground. And they were like, that's a knee. That's a knee. He kneed. That's hilarious. That's about right. Julius, we're going to go to you with the same question. Just how did you feel about the ending of the game, the last couple plays, the whole game in general, and anybody you want to specifically shout out?
Yeah, I'm going to specifically shout out Aaron Glenn, because I don't even hear about Aaron Glenn on TV. All I hear about is Ben Johnson, Dan Campbell. Aaron Glenn deserves to be a head coach next year. He deserves it. Some team should offer it to him, because the way he's been able to keep this defense afloat amidst the injury bug that's been trying to, destroy it is absolutely crazy. But back to the game in general, it's always great to beat the Packers. Always great to beat the Packers. I feel like not long ago, I didn't even know what that felt like really much in my life. And now what? We won 6 of the last 7, and times are great. I think this all started in the beginning of the game with the whole Matt LaFleur stuff. I think they were showing highlights of that. I was seeing it on Twitter right after kickoff. I was already seeing highlights of that whole scrimmage, that whole thing on the sideline with LaFleur. That kind of set the tone for the game. I feel like it was a little rippy. Dan Campbell's gonads won us this game. I'm just gonna say it right here. To go for it with where he went for it at, I mean, it all happened so fast. It wasn't even a timeout taken. You, as a fan, we don't really get time to process it. But then when it happens, you know the game is over. Jake Bates, another game ball recipient. We don't even talk about Jake Bates. We might have like the best kicker in the league that came from nothing just a year ago. But overall, I'm always satisfied to beat the Packers. And the way the game ended just made it that much sweeter. And the way the game started set it up, I believe, like we talked about with LaFleur and that whole cut thing. Only with LaFleur would he give us any kind of extra fire we didn't already get from Penei Sewell's pregame speeches.
Dude, his pregame speeches are literally top of the line, dude.
Oh, yeah, I listen every morning before I go to work.
That's smart, honestly. You kick today's ass every day, dude. Golly, that's smart. Yeah, this game was nuts. I was at the game. I went up and went to the bathroom at one point, and we were winning. I was talking a lot of mad shit. Oh, my God. I had some Packers fans around me, quite a bit of them, actually. And I let every single one of them hear it all game long. I got up and go to the bathroom. They throw a pick. They score. We come back. We're losing. I was like, I'm glad I left for that one, honestly. Ultimately, we end up coming down. The last play happens. I didn't even know what was going on. I don't really remember it, but I definitely didn't think it was like a 4th and 1 and we had to go for it. I was just like laughing at the Packers fans like, you suck. You losers. Like you shouldn't be or you should be embarrassed. And ultimately we got it and we won. And I had a great day. It was a great game. Kudos to my wife for buying the tickets. It was the most fun. The only game I'll probably go to this year. And it was great. It was great being the Packers. But my favorite thing, like the game was great, right? It was great. It was great to be there. My favorite thing was probably coming home after the game and from like 11:30, maybe midnight till about 3 or 4 in the morning, just roasting every Packers fan I could find. Like the tweets, I went back and looked at them about 3 or 4 days later, and I was like, those were some aggressive tweets, Nick. You need to calm down a little bit, dude. Like at one point, I think I tweeted out, "We'll eat your children." Like I don't know, dude. I got a little aggressive, but it was fun. It was a great game. It's a rivalry. We're at least trying to make it one, or they're trying to make it one. I don't know how it works right now, but it was great. Let's keep it moving though. Lions and Packers set a new streaming record for Amazon Prime because everybody in the goddamn world wants to watch the Detroit Lions. Adam, after all of these years of being the freaking bottom dwellers, how insane is it that the Detroit Lions are America's team?
It feels so good. It's wild. Every night, I swear, man, I go to bed thinking like our team is so good. This is such a good feeling. I am so happy I can experience this right now and that we have finally, just overcome everything where it was Lions fans were in a mode like years of just like this is the Lions, this is our life forever, we have to accept it, and that's how it'd be passed down to their kids. And it was like, well, see, Calvin Johnson, more bad luck, ball batting out of the end zone, that's how it goes. But not anymore. And it's so nice that we can display not just the Lions talent but just our city of Detroit to all the media, all the NFL, all the fans watching. They get to see the passion of Detroit, because I really think a lot of fan bases did not realize how passionate Detroit fans are. And they are truly top tier, probably top 5, top 3, top 1, if you ask any Lions fan base around. So just to see what's been going on is so cool, knowing that we're going to be getting more and more primetime games, that Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes, Sheila, they've all built this. And it's just, this is like, it's so weird because we've dreamed of this moment, wanted it for so long. And now this is just the beginning. And we're like, this isn't, where we have like a superstar quarterback or a superstar player where it's like, we're only getting 5 years. No, we have a GM and an owner and a head coach that are all relatively young for their, position. So the Lions aren't stopping now. It's going to be just more and more fans are going to pile on. And I do think within a couple years, like the Cowboys won't be America's team. It'll just be that, even that stigma of, oh, America's team, it will be Detroit's America's team.
Yep. 100%, dude. I never thought I'd see the day. Even when we started, I knew there was gonna be a point in life where we started winning. I did not think that everyone would care this much. I thought like last year was it. Like last year was like America's team. And now everyone kind of be like, give me the Texans, give me the Bills, give me, you know, these other teams that are just more fun. No team is more fun than the Lions. People want to see fun football, good football. It's one of the main reasons why it's hard for me to watch college football, because I don't think that game is as skilled and good as NFL games. So like, I personally just don't really watch it. However, now watching the Lions, I watch like the 49ers play, and I'm like, that's a college team, dude, compared to my team. Like, that team sucks, dude. Like, so it's crazy, and it makes sense because people want to see good football, and the Lions right now are impeccable football. So it's just amazing. Kudos to all the coaches and whatnot. Let's keep it moving. We got a long show. Let's keep it moving. Julius, the Lions are now riding an 11-game winning streak. It's the longest in team history. They sit at 12-1, and I cannot believe, or no, they sit at 12-1, and I believe they can lose one more game, no matter what, no matter where, and still stay atop of the NFC. No matter what, we can still lose a game. It can be a division opponent. It can be an outside division opponent. So I'm curious. And to preface, this question is not meant to make anyone go viral. This is a safe space. I just want to know what your honest opinion is. Is there any bit of you that wants one more loss before this season is over to almost humble the Lions a little bit, or no?
No. I don't think we need to be humbled. I think we are humbled. I think the Lions were humbled the very first season when we went 3-13-1. I think that was our humble season. After that, we started 1-6 the next season, even a little more humble. That was enough humble for this brand new Lions team. And now it's just hunger. You go from humbleness to hungriness. And that's what the Lions are. And I don't think that I don't think them as a team are like, oh, we can afford one. I think they're trying to beat every single team, starting with the Bills. And I think it's very, very possible that they live up to my headline and go 16-1.
If the Lions go 16-1 and you predicted that at the beginning of the season, sir, you'll be the only one. I will scour the internet. I will find as much information as I can to find anyone with a lick of saying, now if some guy with 6 followers said it, whatever, I don't care about him. If there's anyone with a lick of any expertise that said we were going to go 16-1 and we do go 16-1, I'll be impressed, because right now I believe you're the only person out there.
You've got to be, because anyone that's given the Lions 16 wins is like, no, they're winning 17-0. So
which is what I did. I wasn't going to give them one loss. I was like, no, I'm going 17.
They could easily be undefeated right now. That Bucks game, they could have won that game, bro.
They would have went 17-0, and I would have called it. I'd have been fucking get me on ESPN.
Oh, but my God, Lions are 16-0 heading, 16-0 heading into week 18 or whatever. And one of you would have been right, you know.
That would be crazy. You'd have to put a bet down on that.
I believe I gave us 15-2 or whatever, 14-3. Shame on me.
3 losses because you're a loser. No, we love you, Adam. Let's keep it moving. Okay, he said no loss. I personally just want to throw something in real quick. I wouldn't mind a loss. I don't want it to the Bills. I want it to be like week 18 when we've already secured number 1 and we can rest a bunch of players. I honestly just kind of want a loss. I do, and I know, and make it go viral, but like I kind of just want one more. I don't want to go into the playoffs with losing the last loss being in week 2. I don't know. There's something about that just scares me, but we'll keep it moving. If you have thoughts yourself, put it in the comments. Adam, Jared Goff lit it up again Thursday. And right now it says 4th in the MVP odds on ESPN at least. Josh Allen at -400, Barkley at +550, Lamar at +1300, and Goff at +1600. Again, that is on ESPN. It does vary. Adam, what percentage would you honestly give Jared Goff at winning the MVP? And what does he have to do to realistically win the MVP?
So I give it about a 10% chance. I think there's still a small chance, but it's solely because we play the Bills. And if this Lions defense and Aaron Glenn turns up and Josh Allen throws for 145, 2 interceptions and a touchdown, and Jared Goff throws for 4 touchdowns and 300 yards, which I know sounds kind of crazy, but not too crazy. I know Josh Allen hasn't thrown a lot of interceptions this year. He's gotten a lot better at that. So that maybe, but we got Kirby Joseph, Brian Branch. We got the guys to get it done. So if that could happen, I think there's a small chance. Also, Saquon is going for that rushing record, which makes it tough. Which if he has the most rush yards of all time, which was like plus 250 for Saquon to break that record. So Vegas, thinks there's a decent shot it could happen. And if it does happen, I think it's hard to say no to Saquon. But Josh Allen, freaking throwing touchdowns to himself, getting 6 touchdowns in a game, scoring 50 fantasy points. It's hard to beat. But in a lot of other seasons, Goff, honestly, last year, if Goff played like that, I mean, if you took last year's MVP, Lamar Jackson, I think Goff is having a better season than that. Even Brock Purdy, I think Goff is doing similar to what Brock Purdy was doing last year with the 49ers, where he was just doing an excellent job of game managing, having the highs, having very few lows. But that 5 interception game, I think just because there's 5 interceptions, even though if you watch the game, 3 of them are fluky and shouldn't even count on the stat book. But there's a small chance. I'll be rooting for him.
I'll be rooting for him. Yeah. Is there any, do you think there's how does he get it? What does he have to do to win that MVP?
We gotta shut down Josh Allen. Steelers gotta shut down Saquon. Just one slow game can get him right back into it. And
that's not what I was looking for.
Jared Goff just stays the course, and this is the week. So if Jared Goff doesn't have a big explosion week, I think he's going to be out. It'll be a 2-man race. And if he does, and we can slow down Josh Allen, I think that the odds are going to swing, because I want to say this happened last year. Actually, it did happen last year. The 49ers played the Ravens. Brock Purdy threw, I believe, 4 interceptions. Lamar Jackson had a good game, won the game, and Brock Purdy came in as like a minus 150 favorite. It wasn't a big favorite, but he was the favorite. And the odds flipped. Brock Purdy was like plus 800. Lamar was, minus 125, and Lamar ended up winning it. So I could see something like that happen in that Lions-Bills game. And that's what I called. I said the winner of that game will have the MVP on their team. So
all right. Well, we'll keep it going, and we'll dive into that Bills-Lions game in a little bit. Keep it rolling along here. Speaking of percentages, we'll move it down to Julius for his percentage guess here. Our coordinators help put us in the best spots to give us the best percentage to win every game. However, you win 11 games in a row, and a dark cloud kind of looms called the rest of the NFL. And they want your boys. They want your guys. So, Julius, I'm curious right now, what percentage would you give Ben Johnson leaving for another team and Aaron Glenn leaving for another team after this season, and why? Muted. Mute Mookie.
I'm going off the assumption that the Lions win the Super Bowl this season.
Sure.
Off that assumption, I would give Ben Johnson a 70% chance of leaving. Just because I've been reading other teams' blogs, other teams that's coming up on head coach openings, and teams are ready to offer Ben Johnson the entire boat, the entire plane, the entire key to the city, to bring some of that Detroit grit to wherever it is, Chicago perhaps. They're hungry sharks in the water. And with Aaron Glenn, I was talking about it earlier, how he deserves to be a head coach. However, we all know that doesn't always work out that way, especially with defensive coordinators in this league, especially with coaches of color in this league. But I'm going to give it a 50-50 shot at this point. Assuming the Lions win the Super Bowl, I'll give it a 55% chance that Aaron Glenn is gone next year.
So 70% for Ben leaving, 55% for Aaron Glenn leaving. We'll keep tabs on that moving forward throughout the rest of the season. Let's keep it moving here, though. Adam, what percentage, because I love doing percentage games, do you give Aiden Hutchinson making it back for the Super Bowl? And what percentage would you give Aiden Hutchinson making it back before the Super Bowl?
I'm going to go. We've seen him rehabbing. He's coming along good. I think he plays the Super Bowl. I really do. I just have a weird feeling that this dude's a genetic freak. His body is just rehabilitating at rapid speeds. NFL medicine's crazy nowadays. I'm very, very confident he'll play in the Super Bowl if the Lions make it there. Knock on some wood. And then the NFC Championship game, if the Lions also make it there as well, I give it like a 50-50 shot, only because he would get that extra week of rest before the Super Bowl to ensure that, we get him in the Super Bowl at, not just 80%, 90%, it's 100% Hutch, looking back to form. And if we can have that in the Super Bowl, I think it's worth resting him in the NFC Championship game, because look what we've been doing. We keep beating the good teams. If we can take care of the Bills without Hutch, take care of, I guess the 49ers aren't a great example, but, they're still a solid team. And if we can do all that without Hutch, then there's not much of a need, unless catastrophe hits on the defense again, for us to put Hutch back a week or two early. So save him for the Super Bowl. Give us that Lions like cherry on top, perfect dream scenario. Hutch comes back, has 3 sacks Mahomes on the final drive, and the Lions with the Super Bowl, stopping the Chiefs.
I love it, dude. Just give me Hutch. That's something else we're going to keep tabs on throughout the rest of the year, just to see what we're all feeling, how spicy it's getting. Keeping it moving. Jack Campbell recently spoke about a nickname that DC gave the defense, which Campbell in return called sick. They are now dubbed the Northern Savages. Julius, thoughts on this nickname?
The Northern Savages. I feel like any nickname bestowed upon you by the great Dan Campbell it sticks. It sticks. And I'm loving it. Calling them the Northern Savages, the Lions defense from here on out. Thank you, Dan Campbell.
Exactly, dude. They're the Northern Savages. I'm always be tweeting it left and right on Sunday, boys. You best believe. Last topic I wanted to talk about, something else that is very sick, is the amount of love the Lions players are showing to the city. Adam already talked a little bit about how these primetime games could affect the city, and just showing how important we are and our fan base are. But Detroit has done a lot for the city, and the Lions have. Sonic and Knuckles just hosted a movie night premiering Sonic and Knuckles 3 to a ton of kids. JMO and company gave out coats. I'm pretty sure Kirby and JMO gave out turkeys literally after a game one week. It was just 4 hours after a game, they went out and started giving out turkeys. So, Adam, I just want to know, how impactful has the Detroit Lions, been on the city of Detroit, not just with the winning and the culture, but more so the behind-the-scenes stuff that we don't see?
It's been awesome. We see also Hutchinson has his foundation going. He's a big advocate for, kids and all sorts of stuff like that. JMO, he surprisingly, I guess, because a lot of people paint JMO as, a bad guy, a villain,
Talk about it.
Yeah, a troublemaker. And this dude's out there encouraging the Lions defense to get more active with the community. And so what happens? Carlton Davis, Terrion Arnold, and JMO organize a coat drive. So super cool that that's happening. I think it'll just be a snowball effect of the Lions players giving back, and then the fans giving back to the Lions players, showing all the love at the playoff games too, and regular games. So it's awesome to see what's been going on. And I just think this is just the start of, a lot of new just team and community bonding.
Mm-hmm. Which you love to see. You really do. Your heart aches for a lot of those kids that Hutch is, dealing with, and a lot of kids just don't have it like a lot of us do. So it's just, your heart breaks for them. You love to see that. It's cold in Michigan, giving away coats to a lot of people who don't have it. It's really awesome. I just love to see. I wanted to make sure we talked about that at one point throughout this show, because they really do deserve kudos for that. And we don't get to talk about that a lot. So, but we'll keep moving on. We're going to get to the Bills game here. We'll go from one great story to another great story, because it's about to be the Bills and the Lions, and it's going to be great. Let's get to some injuries. Julius, talk to us about the Lions injuries.
So other than players that are on IR, we only have one confirmed Lion that will be out in this game, and that is linebacker Trevor Nowatzki. He is popped out with a concussion on an injury report this week. So our current linebacker 3, it won't play. So look for Ezekiel Turner, unsung hero of the last game against the Packers, and David Long, veteran who's also helping out big time to fill in at that linebacker 3 position. Other than that, we have a bunch of probables, and they're good probables, especially on defense. With Ali McNeil, DJ Reader, Josh Pascal, and Levi Ozaworki. Pretty much the entire Lions defensive line outside Aiden is set to play in this game against Buffalo, which is huge. It's really going to turn up that pressure on Josh Allen, which we need, which we're going to talk about. But other than that, everybody else is agreeing to go. It's looking real good. Oh, yeah, one more. Taylor Decker, also set to return to starting left tackle. Shout out friend of the show, Dan Skipper, holding it down and throwing it all on the line, throwing it all out, even the vomit out of his mouth after the game in that post-game speech. That's my man, Skip. That's my man.
Guys,
Decker will return this game.
And I love that. I was rewatching some of our old videos. So we had Skip on the show a couple years ago. Do you guys remember at one point he was talking about how he had played like 9 defensive snaps?
Yes.
Yep.
That motherfucker probably should have been edge rushing a couple times there.
I tweeted out, I said, the problem was, I want to say he was starting when we were really, when was it? It was like 2 weeks ago when it was the Bears game. Where it was every dude was just getting injured left and right. And it was like a plague on the Lions. So Skip, I wouldn't be surprised if we do see some defensive snaps at some point. But then again,
I would be so surprised.
I kind of would too, because he has become a decent, focal point as a 6th offensive lineman. So if he gets hurt, trying to bull rush a dude, then that will kind of suck.
Yeah, he's definitely 6th man of the year, in my opinion. Adam, talk to us about the Bills' injuries.
So the Bills are getting back a couple dudes in Keon Coleman. He will be playing this week. And who's the other one? They have a long list of just probables and questionables. But the 2 Dalton Kincaid, he's also going to play too. He's missed the last 2 or 3 games. Those are, 2 elite pass catchers for Josh Allen. So that sucks. But Rasul Douglas, cornerback, is ruled out, so that helps out the Lions. And then Taylor Rapp did not practice all week, didn't play last week, is questionable. I don't expect him to play. He's their starting safety. Other than that, everyone seems like they're going to play. Matt Milano played his first game last week after torn bicep injury. He practiced all week, so he's good to go. Guys like, Curtis Samuel and, DeMar Hamlin, role players, they were limited at practice, but I expect them to play as well. So overall, the big ones, Keon Coleman and Dalton Kincaid are back, and Rasul Douglas is out, and possibly Taylor Rapp.
Taylor Rapp, drafted by Brad Holmes with the Los Angeles Rams. You guys didn't know. 5th round pick, I believe, and became the starting safety for them.
He was a stud.
He was a stud indeed. All right, those were our injuries. Thank you, boys, for the injury report. Let's move on to a little bit of questions about these games. The Lions bringing back the black jerseys, Julius. Thoughts on these jerseys, and would you want to see a blackout in the stadium? This is like your second mute. I think that's strike 2.
I'm not even muted. I was just talking low. And I thought I was muted.
Really, bring it up.
The black jerseys. I don't know about the blackout, though. I don't know about the blackout just because I don't know how it would look in the stands at Ford Field. However, I'm a big fan of the black jerseys, returning them. I liked them the first time earlier this season, and so I did want to see them again, and I think this is a prime spot this Sunday. So, I like the black jerseys. I think they look great. I just don't know what all black in the stands at Ford Field would really pop like that.
Got you. Adam brought up something before the show. What was it, Adam? We're painting what now?
The logo. They already got the lion all black, and I believe the end zones will be black as well.
You blend right in. They won't see us. Pick. Oh, I'm calling it, dude. We're picking Allen in the end zone at some point in this game. Calling it right now, dude. Adam, let's move over to you real quick. Josh Allen is possibly the best player in the NFL. There's a reason why he's minus 400 to win MVP. Are you more nervous about his passing or his rushing in this upcoming game? Let's not forget, he led the Bills in rushing yards with, I believe, 78 on Thanksgiving Day when we played him a couple years ago.
I'm going to go his rushing. I think that will cause the Lions problems. Josh Allen is just such a good improviser and runner when he needs to. He's like, it's almost like playing Madden, where if you see the first down and you have a mobile quarterback, you're running for that every single time. That's what Josh Allen will do. He will run for that first down every single time. Trust himself. We've seen him make some great, touchdown runs, 20-yard runs, 30-yard runs, etc. And Aaron Glenn has a tendency of not wanting to spy, mobile quarterbacks. So that will be interesting to see how he approaches that, if he sticks to his game plan, if Josh Allen, makes him change a little bit. But ultimately, I'm confident the Lions. I'm confident that Amik Robertson could shut down Khalil Shocker. I mentioned that because a beat reporter or fantasy reporter, I guess, said, play Khalil Shocker. He's going to go off against, or he didn't say against anyone, but he said he's going to go off in the slot. Amik Robertson is our slot cornerback. He quickly saw that, took note of it, quote tweeted it, and said something like, we'll see about good luck. Yeah. So Amik has that in his brain. I like when players, have something to play for and not just, team benefits. If it's like personal vendettas, then that helps as well. But the rushing, I think that'll be a big factor in this game.
I agree. Quarterbacks that run on us can run for a lot on us, so it's going to be something to watch. Let's keep it moving. These two teams, I would say, are two of maybe three, maybe four juggernauts in the NFL. Julius, is this a Super Bowl preview?
Perhaps. I honestly think the Ravens and the Chiefs, I can see a little bit more. I got right now in my hierarchy, I have the Bills, but I feel like you can pretty much, there's about four teams that we could see if we're talking about the Lions Super Bowl, and the Bills are definitely one of them. With Josh Allen, the way he's playing, they're pretty hard to beat.
Yeah, they are. They are. This would be crazy if we're watching the preview of the Super Bowl. Like, it would be crazy if we get into the second week of February and we're like, wow, we saw this game already and we talked a bunch about it.
And if the Lions win, they win big. If the Lions win big, say they win, double digits, comfortable, and then we're looking in the playoffs, all of a sudden the Bills in the AFC Championship dominating. Like, oh, we already.
Yeah, what the fuck? We got to play them again? All right.
Right.
I love that. Adam, were you going to say something before we get to your question?
I wonder how many times this happened before where regular season teams play each other and it ends up being the Super Bowl matchup.
Was the Rams-Chiefs one the one that went 54-51? Did they end up seeing each other in the playoffs or no?
I'm sure the 49ers-Chiefs had one because it seemed like they played each other a couple times just because they were the one seed and, the NFL would put them on primetime all the time.
Right.
But, yeah, this Lions-Bills game.
It's going to be nuts. It's going to be nuts. Adam, the Bills defense has been showing some glaring holes, but have been able to buckle down enough to let Josh Allen win most of their games for them. So I'm going to ask you the same question I love to ask you every single week. I don't know. It's roughly the same question. Is this the toughest game the Lions will play all year? And if not, which game was or will be?
It's a great question. It's tough because if this was in Buffalo, absolutely.
Sure.
But we are back at Ford Field. That is one of the biggest home field advantages in the NFL.
Sure is.
I would say probably yes or tied for hardest, I guess.
That's taking the easy way out. Yes or no, bro?
Yes. Let's
All
go
right.
yes. I think it will be Bills are doing good. I know they did just let up 44 points to the Rams, who literally couldn't score a touchdown last night. So
It's all different, though.
it is, yeah. It makes me feel a little confident that I'm like, hey, that Rams offense just put up 44. I have 37 because they had a punt block touchdown. And the Lions offense is much better than them. So I think Ben Johnson will go to work. I do think this will be the highest scoring game of the week. And yeah, I do think it's going to be the toughest game of the season.
I love that because highest scoring means a lot of points and a lot of yards. So let's get to our newest segment. That's right. We got a new segment. That's the Honolulu Blues, the Ho-Ho Honolulu Blues parlay. We each are picking a straight, and we are going to parlay all three of those straights into one 3-leg masterclass. And then we're going to throw in a little dark shot, little long shot, little dark horse, and see if $10 can win us a couple $100, you know, whatever it works out to be. And these boys don't know how I had it lined up, so they're going to learn right now. Adam, you are going first. Give us your leg. Give us your dark shot, your long shot, your dark horse, and then Julius, and then me. Adam, lead us off.
Amon-Ra let us down big last week, and just by us, meaning our sports bets, because he had a couple big catches and didn't play too bad. But ultimately, 43 yards. Amon-Ra, come on, man, get 50. But that is exactly what I'm going back to him. Amon-Ra this dude's just too good. This is our third straight home game.
Yeah,
I believe. Yep. And I think that he's going to turn up for it. Over under set at 67.5. I'm going to take the over on that. And then my long shot, I believe Amon-Ra bounces back, has a big game. I'm going to go, I believe it was 80 yards. Hold on. Yes, 80 yards plus 150. I think he can get that all day. I know we've been seeing a lot of JMO action. We've been seeing Sam Laporta kind of contribute. The running backs get a lot of checkdowns. But at the end of the day, Amon-Ra, he is all reliable. He is Mr. Catch everything thrown to him. He's Jared Goff's boy still. And I think he's going to have a totally redeem yourself, you know.
Love that.
Performance.
Love that. So we won with St. Brown over 67 yards.
7.5.
Over 60, so 68 plus, and then long shot 80 plus. Ladder in it. Love it. Julius, thoughts? Or what are you picking? That's really
love the picks, Adam. I am going so with my parlay, with my regular parlay, I'm going with the Lions. Let me take that back. I am going with the Josh Allen anytime touchdown.
Fair.
I like it plus 120. I just believe that if they're in the red zone, that's highly likely who is to get the touchdown. I feel real good about it. I played the Lions opponent in these parlays before. I just got a good feeling about that Josh Allen anytime. Not picking against the Lions here, just a Josh Allen anytime. And my long shot, I am going Jameson Williams plus 60 receiving yards.
I love it. I love it. So we got Josh Allen anytime for our straight. We got JMO 60 plus receiving yards for our long shot. Now I had already put mine in, but I might actually switch this up. For my straight, Adam, we're switching it up. I'm going to go with a Monty touchdown.
Like it.
Can never go wrong with a Monty touchdown. It just helps out a little bit. Doesn't add the most money. That's fine. We're not looking to make $1 billion off of our straights. We're just trying to hit and keep going till next week. My long shot, I will keep, though. If it's plus money, and Adam, can you confirm with me, is Jameson Williams 5 catches or more plus money?
It is at plus 150 right now.
Then I'll take JMO for 5 receptions. Very nice way to get 60 yards, catch 5 balls. JMO, be great. It'll be great. So that's our long shots. Adam, can you read those back? Did you get those in or no?
Not really. Hold on.
That's all right. I put you on the spot. That's all right. You don't got it.
Which one was your straight?
My straight was Monty.
Okay. All right. There we go.
Monty Tutty, anytime. So we got an Allen anytime, a Monty anytime, and Gibbs over 67.5 receiving yards for our straight. And if I'm remembering correctly, we have St. Brown 80 plus receiving yards, JMO 60 plus receiving yards, and JMO 5 catches for our long shot. Does that sound right to you, boys?
Sounds right.
Good to me.
Let's get to predictions. All right. This is how we always end our show. We do our predictions game last week. Adam picked first and he finished second. He got 2 points. Julius wasn't here, but he picked second. He got 1 point. He finished last. I picked last and I won with 3 points. Kudos to Jeff, who came on our show and picked his own. He was the closest to the score at 33-27. And he picked Jack Campbell for defensive MVP, which probably would have won ultimately. So kudos to Jeff. We loved having him on. Go watch Crunch Time Sports if you don't, every Monday through Friday between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. So they're going to be coming on in about an hour. But he ain't here this week, so we back to us. Julius, who has the lead overall with 26 points, followed closely by Adam and myself at 25 points, so just the 1 point different. Julius will go first. Adam will go second. I will go third, and we'll get out of here. Julius, lead us off.
So I am going Lions 45, Bills 35. You hear that, fantasy gurus? We talking 80 points. My offensive MVP. This might surprise some, and I might leave some low-hanging fruit, but I'm going with MVP himself, Jared Goff.
Mm-hmm.
Defensive MVP. I mean, we're going to score 45 points. Jared Goff going to have a hell of a game. Defensive MVP. This is a bit harder, but I'm going Brian Branch. Because I just trust the man to bring the thump. If anybody's going to contain Josh Allen, Brian Branch is going to have a hell of a game.
I love that. Adam, you are up, sir.
I'm going to go 38-34, Lions victory. I want to say I probably picked the Bills on a pregame show to win, but a 12-game win streak will do that to you. So,
yeah.
11 game. Also, another little tidbit about this game: the Lions, if we continue to win out, we will be the second team in NFL history to enter the playoffs with a 15 or more game win streak. The only other team was the 16-0 Patriots. So, Lions have a chance to do that. There's been a couple teams that did 14, but 3 more games, and then we can start talking about that. Offensive MVP. I love him so much. I'm going Jahmyr Gibbs. I can't go away. I know I picked Amon-Ra for my bets, and I do think Amon-Ra is going to have a great game. But Jahmyr Gibbs, he's my day one. He's my boy. And I hope he goes off for a lot of fantasy reasons, a lot of money reasons, and a lot of this game reasons, and Lions reasons as well. Defensive MVP. This is a tricky one. I like Branch, Julius. That was kind of mine. I feel my gut has me saying something, but my brain's like, no, don't do it. Be smart.
My body tells me no.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. Let's go to Darius Smith. I think this dude's just been balling out for the Lions. I'm feeling a sack, maybe a sack and a half, couple pressures, maybe even a batted ball. That's how we get a couple interceptions, couple tipped plays. Terrion was the one I was thinking of. Just going to give him an honorable mention. Terrion, he's played the most snaps out of any defensive back, not just rookies. That's all defensive backs. I want to say it like 239.
Man snaps, man coverage.
Yes. Still impressive, though. Yes. More than anyone in this league. So, Terrion, we really trust him quite a bit. Aaron Glenn just came out and said this dude's going to be so good. And I think so, too. We kind of threw him into the Wolves, and Terrion could very well have a coming out game. So keep in mind.
All right. I had already written my score down earlier today. I thought about it. I tried to meditate. Julius once told me that's what he did. And I was like, okay, I need to like really meditate for 5-10 minutes and try to get some Julius Adonis out here. I can't say that. Anyways, it got me the win the last 2 weeks. I have gotten the correct score, closest to. Now I had 41-37 written down. However, I scratched that off around 1:30 p.m. I think the Bills going to the West Coast, playing a road game, coming back from the West Coast to play another road game, is going to hinder the scoring a little bit. And when that gets hindered, the Lions won't need to score as much. It will be still a close game.
The under.
10 points from both. And I'm going 31-27. So 58 total points. We'll still take the over. 31-27 Lions. I did like the Goff MVP pick, but I do not have that option. I do not want to take Monty. There is one thing about Amon-Ra St. Brown. When it's clutch, he's Goff's go-to. Every single clutch drive, must win, need to have it drive. If you are live betting, bet on Amon-Ra St. Brown to catch a pass. I think this whole game will be very close to a must-have-it type of game. I think there will be a lot of points. I am going to steal Adam's pick right out from under his nose as he left it for me, and I will go with ASB for my MVP. Defense.
Do it again.
Seems like I would take the easy, low-hanging fruit of Kirby Joseph. Yet, Josh Allen has thrown 5 interceptions this year. I don't know if he throws in one this game. Josh Allen has not been sacked a lot this year. I don't think he gets a sack. I don't think maybe get 1 sack this game. Not enough to push the DMVP. What's going to happen is we're going to have a lot of guys tackle Josh Allen and James Cook and Dalton Kincaid before the first down. And who is that going to be?
JC.
Jack Campbell. So we're going to go with Jack Campbell as our defensive MVP. ASB is our offense. 31-27 for me. Score. That was a show. It's a Christmas show. We got a whole nother Christmas show next week. I'll hopefully have my Christmas poem. We'll have our Christmas sweaters and hats on. Adam, take us out.
Yes, as always, check us out at Honolulu Blues _ on Twitter. If you're listening, give us a like, comment. We love all the interaction. Shout out to Fat Beer Bob for chiming in again. Also, shout out to, gosh, I feel terrible, but my man last week damn near gave me the score prediction. He predicted 38-31, and I almost said 34-31, but I went 34-20. It was something like that, where like I just bumped the Lions points down or something like that. But you know who you are if you're watching. Shout out to you. Check us out individually at Nick Faber NFL, Everyday FFB for myself, and the 5th top for Julius. As always,